Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Marilyn Madsen and I'm here to explain today how I made my Rio Vidal Lady Death cosplay from the Marvel series Agatha All Along. About 5 people have requested this, so I'm here to please all 5 of you. Please bear in mind the fact that I am very much a novice builder. This is my first ever full cosplay build. I've dabbled in things before, but never on this scale, so clearly I thought, why not start on something incredibly difficult? So we'll start on the thing that I did first, which is the crown. Isn't she beautiful? For the crown, I went onto a website called Cults 3D. It's where people upload 3D print files that they've made for people to purchase, download, and then use themselves. I do not have a 3D printer, so I don't know what I thought I would be able to do with this, but I did not want to spend the £50 that I have seen it cost on Etsy. So I went on, I found the file. I'll try and link the file down below for you. And I then posted it on my Instagram story. Very luckily, my lovely friend Amy messaged me and they were like, absolutely, I know a guy, he can get it done for you for a tenner. So I saved a hell of a lot of money doing that. So it arrived to me obviously unpainted because it was just a raw 3D file. So I took myself off to B&Q and I found this like absolutely incredible chrome paint, spray paint. It came with a little base coat, so I sprayed all that up, sprayed it with my chrome stuff, and then I sealed it with a clear shiny sealer because I really wanted it to have like a nice shine. And what can I say, she is gorgeous. Like, I'm absolutely obsessed with the way that she turned out. So to actually keep it on my head, because it is not the most stable thing, I actually got some of those strong little magnets that you can get from like most craft stores, I believe, and I just hot glued them on, and then I glued the opposite side of the magnets into the base of the wig itself so that it had a strong anchor point. But I knew that with the cloak there, it was quite slippy, so it wouldn't fully connect and they would slide over each other and fall off more often. So I also used my favourite trick, which is boob tape. So yeah, that's how I kept that on my head, and it worked quite well unless I put my head too far forward, like the amount that was clattered to the ground during con. Embarrassing. So now we move on to the bodice piece, which I am so proud of. This is my baby. It took me so many attempts to get this right. I'm not even joking. Most of the time I spent on this cosplay was this bodice. So I originally started trying to make like a foam breast piece. Turns out that did not go well for me. It just didn't sit right on me, even though I tried to use the cling film and tape method to make like a full pattern. It just wasn't sitting right, which is really annoying because I have successfully made a bodice using that before. It's for another cosplay that I have not finished yet. Yeah, I didn't like how it was sitting, which is really annoying because I only realised after I'd actually attached everything, so I had to start from scratch on the bodice. So I then had a absolute brainwave and I went into Marks and Spencer's and I bought myself a cheap strapless bra. It was about £16, and then I bought some bra extenders as well, which were I think about £5 for a 3-pack, because I knew that I'd be actually fixing this very not stretchy upholstery leather to it all the way around the band, and it would no longer stretch the way that I needed it to actually fit around my body. So yeah, I bought like a cheap bra and then I sewed underneath the tops just a little piece of foam to then make the, I don't know what to call this, the bit that goes over your ribcage, bottom bit of the top torso bit. So I attached a little piece of foam, and then I glued all of the leather to it. Please make sure that if you do use contact cement, you are doing it in a well-vented area and you are using a respirator. So I got some upholstery leather from Etsy and a little bit of like this beautiful green suede from Etsy, and then I just cut little strips out of it and I started like gluing it into place and like molding it around like the cups and stuff. I would take the strips and then I would like pin them to the cups and the foam bodice bit, just to see how I wanted it to sit. This piece here, like this like top bit that connects, is just a piece of leather that I then stitched again onto the bra clips itself to keep it in place. I wanted it to be more flexible and not foam, so that it would like move with me and not look too thick. I actually used underneath, like especially here, to give it some shape and that little like viney effect, just some garden wire, and I just like glued it into place and put some leather over it, and big brain moment really. That's what I used for all of like my vines and my like little, I don't know, branch looking bits. All of that is garden wires. As for these shoulder bits, those are foam. I built up first the pattern on the mannequin itself because the mannequin is supposed to be my size. I'm not confirming or denying whether it actually is or not, but it's supposed to be my size, because then I knew that it would actually probably fit properly if I did it right. I still had to make a lot of adjustments to it, but I then like cut it out of the foam, and then I used the garden wire and contact cement and leather, and I just kind of, I sat for hours pushing gluey leather into the foam. Then did use acrylic paint once it had all dried and everything to go over specifically the raised bits from the garden wire to really make those pop in pictures. I also have a nice little detail on here which Daniel included in his, and as soon as I realised that he had included it, I wanted to include it on mine because it's a really lovely detail. I found a little piece of obsidian on Etsy and I glued it onto here to be Rio's little black heart, because I thought that was so cute. I extended these shoulder pieces all the way down to the middle of the back, and this is where the mannequin really came in handy, because then I could roughly figure out where it would sit on my own back, and then I made this bit that all of it would click into, like the back of the bra and the shoulder piece as well, so that it would all sit nicely on me and be really solid. And it would also then hide the bra extenders, because I wasn't going to leather all the way over those, because I wanted the option to like take them and move them if I needed to. So I did that, and then I attached it to the shoulder pieces itself, so it was kind of like a big like flap that would then click into the bra. And then I used some press studs that I got from my mum's haberdashery shop, because she has the strongest ones that I've ever seen in my life, and they are incredible, and I think they're just the hemline ones that you can buy at most craft places. The neck piece at the back is literally, it is held together with a piece of leather with some press studs on it. I then did a similar thing to the bodice that I did for the belt, where I patterned a piece out of tape and then I translated that into foam. I then made sure that I adjusted it so it sat where I wanted it to sit, which was just over my pooch. And I also knew that because I'm quite long torsoed, having this sit here and then having the belt sit here would give me just enough space to show off some of the vines that Rio has. And then it's just more garden wire, leather and paint. So I focused more on like the bodice bit first, because I wanted that to be really perfect before I moved on to the sewing. Also because the sewing really intimidated me, because I have never made a garment before this. I did all of the bodice pieces because I knew that if those didn't go well, there was no point in sewing anyway. And then I started with the skirt for Rio, which on Daniel Elson's like rundown of the costume, I found out was made of charmeuse. So I really chose the best fabric to sew my first ever garment out of. I initially started with some satin that I found on Minerva that I thought would work instead, and then I got it, and then I remembered that I hadn't actually seen a sample of this and I hated it in real life, but I used it for my toile because I figured that I should definitely make a toile if I've never made a skirt before. I got a pattern off of Etsy, and set it all up, and I kind of liked how it was going, so I figured let's just go in with the big boys. So I found this charmeuse also on Etsy. I think pretty much all of my fabric is from Etsy at this point. I did debate whether to dye it because they custom coloured it, but I left it as green for now because I was scared that I was going to mess that up. But at some point I'm going to redo the skirt anyway because I'm not 100% happy with the way that I made it. Again, because I'm such a novice, but it was good enough for the function that I wanted it for. It works, it's just not the tidiest in places. But I then decided to make an entire cloak because I hate myself wildly. The cloak is a jacquard that I found also on Etsy, wildly enough. I just live on that place. So I got the jacquard off of Etsy. It's like this really cool tree bark looking... Yeah, it's this really cool tree bark looking jacquard. And I'm gonna absolutely butcher this. They based the cloak design itself off of a 1920s Poiret coat, which I thought was super cool. So I made a 1920s Poiret. Once again, found the pattern on Etsy. It's an actual, like, proper pattern. I did have to adjust the pattern once I'd made the garment to sit where I wanted it to sit on me. Like, the pattern itself, it was like a super long coat because it was supposed to be like almost like floor length. I brought that up quite a bit so it sits more around like the back of my knees where it sits on Rio. I then also brought the sleeves up a little bit because I have really short arms apparently. The only issue is with the Poiret coat that it did not come with a hood pattern, so I drafted that myself. I just cut a quarter circle of fabric, saw how that sat in relation to it, made it like really long, and then doubled that to sit on the other side because I wanted a seam up the middle so that it would sit better on the top of my head, and then just pinned that onto here to see where I needed to like cut out, because there is a proper way to do hoods. I just didn't do that because I have the gay audacity to think that I can do anything that I put my mind to if I just try hard enough and mess it up a lot. I don't think the hood turned out too bad. It's just like very big in some places. I would probably need to adjust it where I like bring this in a little bit more so it sits better, but I like the amount of space that I have at the back. I think it sits nicely on the back. Not that I can see my own back. I then also got the wig that I put the magnets in from AliExpress. I think got the nail ring things from AliExpress. I think that's about it. For the makeup itself, I followed the pictures that the makeup artist for Agatha All Along posted of Aubrey Plaza. I just looked at those pictures and tried to transplant it onto my face. If you want, you can go more in depth with that, like do a tutorial or something, but I am no makeup guru. I will probably end up redoing some parts of Rio in the future as I get better with things. If I do any upgrades, I will try and take better videos of those so that I can post those and you can see the whole work. I hope that this has been somewhat useful to any of you. I hope that this is somewhat coherent, and good luck to future me for having to edit this. You really hate yourself, don't you? Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Have a great day, and good luck if you decide to make this. I will try and put somewhere the full cost and what I estimate the amount of hours I spent on this to be, which I don't actually know how long I spent on it because I did not time it, which I wish I had now. But I will make sure to do that for any future projects so you know roughly what you are getting into. Thank you, bye!